Instant Insanity. How can we harness one of Deepwoken's most interesting game mechanics into a unique and overpowered weapon? What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we're talking about Insanity and one of the most ridiculous combos in Deepwoken history that happens so fast it's basically instant. If we want to know why using Insanity is helpful today, we have to take a look and see why this feature was so terrible on release. One of my first ever videos on Deepwoken took a deep dive into this concept by pulling apart Insanity and showing people how weak it actually was. Back in the day, in the depths, you could sit there for about 50 minutes and you would finally start scratching, getting stunned, and eventually die. And that's a long time. But in modern Deepwoken, Insanity gain is much faster and better than before. If your Sanity hits 0 or the lowest tier, you'll be periodically stunned and take damage, and your vision is obscured against other players. Well, now that we know what Insanity was and what it currently is, how can we inflict max Insanity in a single combo? The most basic of Insanity gain, which I will be ignoring, is the passive decrease caused by certain areas like the depths or void zones. Just by being inside one of these spots, you'll lose Sanity and can even accelerate the process by fighting certain monsters or staring into giant eyeballs. It's effective for sure, but we cannot inflict this upon somebody else. If your target is in the depths or a void zone, this effect will stack with the other methods. But what else can we do to a target that will drain their sanity? A simple yet effective method is equipping a No Life King enchant. Its passive regen is the main effect, but its M1 drains sanity on hit. It's not crazy, it has downsides, and it won't synergize with the rest of this list, but it does exist to remove sanity. Another very strong application is mind-breaking potions. When this projectile is hit, it throws chunks of insanity on everybody in the radius, and we'll be using this later. Heretic Sutra is a useful skill that can give insanity to the user. On activation, an overtime effect of insanity will occur and can be paired effectively with certain combat talents. And that's it. The rest of these insanity methods won't be effective for this combo, but it's worth mentioning them. All blind seer mantras and corrupted bells drain the user's sanity instantly, so we cannot use them with shared misery because they're instant, not over time. Other things like Ardor Scream and Gaze are believed by many to make people insane, while this is not true. Ardor does a similar type of scream as the Sharko, but it does not make players insane. The same can be said about Gaze, where damages and stuns are basically the same thing as Insanity, but it does not hurt our mental. Now, let's get into the combo. Silent Heart's Mani Kari Uppercut counts as M1 damage and hits the most out of any attack in the entire game. If we pair this concept with Shared Misery and Heretic Sutra, every single tick of damage will deal equal Insanity damage to our target. One way we apply Insanity is Heretic Sutra and Shared Misery. The Silent Heart user will give themselves Insanity and hit an uppercut, and immediately they will put the player at 40% Insanity or the first tier of Insanity. Like, that's pretty crazy. One uppercut is 40% of your entire, willpower. If we pair this with a mind-breaking potion, all you gotta do is throw a potion at your target and then hit them with an uppercut to get max Insanity instantly. It's unblockable, and a potion paired with an uppercut, that gets me maxed out, and it's gonna be draining me at the same time I'm getting hit, so I can't really, dodge out of it. That being said, players that don't have Heretic Sutra can throw a weak mind-breaking potion at themselves with high duration to gain Insanity and hurt their opponents much more. There's less downside, and Shared Misery works exactly the same no matter what amount of Insanity is being applied. It's also worth mentioning that Shared Misery works the same on every single build, so high willpower will not save you. Even if I have 100% maxed out willpower, this uppercut effect will still give me high Insanity, and it's crazy. On the other hand, the potions are not very effective against high willpower builds, but regardless, you'll have max Insanity if somebody hits you with 2 to 3 Mani Kari uppercuts with Heretic Sutra. Insanity is very effective and can scare people quite a bit when they instantly are maxed out in 1 second. You're stunned, you can't see player names, you take damage, and you pop immediately when you're knocked. It's very powerful. Anyway, that's all for now, but make sure to try out Instant Insanity in your own builds. Please like and subscribe because we're almost at 50,000 subscribers. Keep on discovering and have a good one.